Welcome to Let's Explore. Today, with the same zeal, with the same happiness, with the same exploring mind, I had came through you and joined you on my channel Let's Explore. And today, we're gonna solve the numericals on units and measurement as I told earlier in my previous lecture. And this is lecture number 2 on BSc Physics. So, question number first says, how many AMU makes 1 kg? So students, we talk about AMU in everywhere. Everywhere we talk about AMU, but we don't know what actually is AMU. Even me, when I don't knew about AMU, I wanted to know about it, but I could not get the resources to know about it, or I could not recapitulate to know about it. So today I will tell you a very easy method to remember. So 1 AMU is nothing, as we know that carbon has many isotopes. So the C12 isotopes divided into 12 equal parts, like a watermelon divided into 12 equal parts. ठीक है, C12 आइसोटोप लेंगे, उसको 12 भागों में बांटेंगे। 12 भागों में बांटने के बाद जो पहला भाग होगा उसका मास जो होगा वही कहलाता है 1 एटॉमिक मास यूनिट। ठीक है, सो 1 AMU इज नथिंग बट टेकिंग द C12 आइसोटोप ऑफ कार्बन and dividing it into 12 equal parts. The mass of the first part is known as 1 AMU, which is approximately is equal to 1.66 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 kg, which is very small. And now to convert it into kg, that how much AMU is contained in 1 kg, we can apply so by doing the unitary method. So 1 kg is equal to 1 upon 1.66 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 AMU, which is equal to 0.6 into 10 raised to the power 27 AMU, means 1 kg is equal to 0.6 into 10 raised to the power 27 AMU. This was our first question. I hope you have understood about AMU. That what is AMU? I am revising it again. 1 AMU is nothing but taking the isotope C12 from the carbon and dividing it into 12 equal parts. The mass of the first part is known as 1 AMU. Coming forward to the second question, the shortest time interval measured indirectly so far is. The shortest time interval measured indirectly so far is. So it is, suppose this is nucleus and the speed of light is about 3 lakh meter per second. So suppose light passed like this and the time taken is 10 raised to the power minus 22 seconds to cross that nuclear size. So that 10 raised to the power minus 22 seconds is called the shortest time interval measured indirectly so far. I am reading the statement in the solution. The shortest time interval is the time taken by the light to cross a distance of nuclear size. See, this was nuclear size. Light crossed like this, very fast, as fast as you can't imagine. So a light crossing the size of nucleus or the distance of nucleus, and the time taken by the light to cross that distance of the nucleus is the shortest time interval measured indirectly so far, which is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 22 seconds. So this was question 2, which is solved. Question 1 was already solved. Now let's talk about question 3. Pressure is defined as, according to me, pressure is defined as is according to me, I am taking the options A, momentum per unit area, option B, momentum per unit area per unit time, option C, momentum per unit volume, option D, density per unit volume. According to me, momentum per unit area per unit time is the correct answer. I will show you how. See, momentum means M into V, and its momentum per unit area means area, and per unit time means time. So velocity for time is equal to acceleration, to it is m by a into acceleration. So m into A is equal to force upon area is equal to pressure. So pressure is defined as momentum per area per unit time. I will do it again for you. I will do it again for you if you have not understood. See what I did. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Momentum is equal to mass into velocity. And it is per unit area means per unit area means area A, capital A, and per unit time. So time here. So velocity upon time I taken together. Velocity upon time gave me acceleration. So it became mass into acceleration upon area. Mass into acceleration is nothing but force. Force upon area is equal to pressure. So we define pressure as momentum per area per unit time. So question number 3 is solved now. I hope you have understood question number 3. Now let's move on question number 4. Why other methods to measure the time is replaced by cesium atomic clock? The answer is very simple, because cesium atomic clock are very accurate, very accurate, and they have very less uncertainty. I am reading the statement. This is because cesium atomic clock, the measurement of time is 200, not 2 times, not 4 times, not 8 times, not 12 times. It is 200 times accurate in comparison to other method of measurements. This was a theoretical question. I hope you have understood it. Now let's move on question number 5. Two quantities A and B have different dimensions. Which mathematical operation may be physically meaningful? See, we can't add apple with oranges. We can't subtract apple from oranges. But we can hybridize two animals. Because we have read hybridization, we can hybridize two animals. So hybridization means giving a multiplication and maybe division to where new one is product which is produced. So multiplication and division gives a new unit. Like hybridization gives a new young one which have a quality of both the parents, same as here. In multiplication and division we get a new unit which is combination of two or more unit, but we can't add or subtract them, because we only add apple with apple and orange with orange. We can't add apple with banana or apple with cucumber. So two quantities A and B have different dimensions. Which mathematical operation may be physically meaningful will be the answer, that multiplication and division. So this is a very important question. So I am marking the star here. Now let's talk about question number 6. The question number 6 says the unit of reactance is. Now let's talk about what is reactance. Reactance means effective resistance in the circuit. Suppose this is our circuit. So effective resistance in the circuit मतलब टोटल रेसिस्टेंस जो है या एक्चुअल रेसिस्टेंस जो है उस सर्किट में, उसे कहते हैं रिएक्टेंस. So the total reactance, or sorry, the reactance is the total or the actual resistance are in the given circuit. So reactance is the effective resistance in the circuit, therefore it will have the same unit as that of resistance, and that is ohm. So the unit of reactance will be same as that of resistance, because reactance is nothing but the overall combination of resistance or effective resistance in the circuit. Now let's talk about question number 7. Let epsilon naught denote the dimensional formula of the permittivity of vacuum. If m बराबर mass, L is equal to length, T बराबर time and A बराबर electric current, then epsilon naught is equal to. This question appeared in 2013 JEE Mains. IIT JEE Mains have this question produced in the question paper of physics. So let's calculate it. Before finding epsilon naught unit, we should know where the epsilon naught from, in which formula epsilon naught suits, or in which formula is epsilon naught extracted or used. So it is used in Coulomb's law. Force equals 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square, which gives epsilon naught q1 q2 upon 4 pi f r square, because f is taken to the right hand side and epsilon naught taken is to the left hand side in order to calculate the unit of epsilon naught. So substituting the units, we have Coulomb square, q1 q2, q1 is 1 coulomb, q2 is 1 coulomb, so it is Coulomb square, coulomb into coulomb, Coulomb square, and Coulomb square have, in the present of basic unit, we have a t square and 4 pi is dimensionless, dimension of force is ml t minus 2, so and r square is the length square, so it is L square. So our answer came m minus 1 L minus 3 T4 A square, which is the correct answer. I hope the process you have seen would have been clear to you. This question appeared in JEE Mains, so I again mark a star on it. Now let's move to question number 8, which appeared in 2005 JEE Mains. Which of the following sets have different dimensions? Pressure, Young modulus, stress. Option B, EMF, potential difference, electric potential. Option C, heat, work done, energy. Option D, dipole moment, electric flux, electric field. So the solution of the problem is option D, dipole moment, electric flux and electric field. Why not A, B and C? C, because pressure, Young's modulus is force acting per unit area of that quantity. Stress is nothing but force point area, so it is also equal to pressure. Young modulus is also equal to pressure, and pressure is already pressure. So it feels joke to you. Now let's talk about EMF, potential difference and electric potential. EMF means potential. Potential difference is always a potential, electric potential is always a potential. Heat have what the SI unit joule, work done have joule, energy have joule. So option A, B, C are incorrect. So automatically option D is correct, but I will show you how. See, let us read the statement. All the options A, B and C are wrong because in each options their alternative have the same dimensional formula, but in option D, dipole moment is equal to charge into distance, but electric flux is equal to electric field into area, which is the other thing and the other branch of physics. Thus option D is the correct answer. As option A, B and C is already incorrect, so option D is the correct answer. If you are in class 11th, you don't know about dipole moment, electric flux, electric field, so you work on option A, B and C, you will automatically cover that option D is the correct answer. So I am moving on question number 9, which appeared in JEE Mains 2000. So the question is, the dimension of 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square is. So the 1 by 2 E epsilon naught E square is the expression of energy density. And energy density is what? Energy density, anything density is, when we talk about density, we talk about per unit volume. So it is energy per unit volume. So 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square is equal to energy which have dimension ml square t minus 2 upon volume have dimension L cube. So the answer or the dimensional formula is m L minus 1 t minus 2. So the dimensional formula for 1 by 2 epsilon naught e square is ml minus 1 t minus 2, where the dimensions of m is 1, dimension of L is minus 1, dimension of t is minus 2. I hope question number 9 will be clear to you. Again repeat it. 1 by 2 epsilon naught e square is the density or the energy density, not the density, it is energy density, it is energy unit volume. So I calculated the value by putting their base units and divided them and got the result. So question number 9, I hope you have done it. I move on question number 10. Which of the following is not the name of physical quantity? See, impulse is a physical quantity, energy is a physical quantity, density is a physical quantity, but kilogram is not a physical quantity. It's a unit. It's a unit. It's not a physical quantity. It's a unit. So option says kilogram is not a physical quantity. It's a unit. So kilogram is a physical quantity which kilogram is not a physical quantity because it's a unit, while impulse, energy and density are physical quantity. Physical quantities are those quantities which can be measured. Kilogram is not a physical quantity because it's a unit, not a physical quantity. Question number 11 says, a dimensionless quantity. Option A never has a unit, option B always has a unit, option C may have a unit, option C does not exist. So a dimensional quantity may have a unit is the correct answer, because if you talk about radian, it is dimensionless. If you talk about radian, measurement of angle radian, it is dimensionless. Okay, so dimensional quantity is a quantity which don't have any dimensions or who don't have any dimensions. So a dimensional quantity may have a unit. For example, radian, which is an exception or can be said as an expression in units and measurement. Now let's move on question number 12. Question number 12 says, if A and B are two physical quantities having different dimensions, then which of the following can denote a new physical quantity? As I already told you, we cannot do A plus B, we cannot do A minus B, we cannot do E upon B, but we can do A divided by B to get the new unit. I have already told you that whether you multiply units or divide units, we get a new unit. So A divided by B could give us a new unit. I hope it is clear to you. So I am reading the statement. Only same physical quantity can be added or subtracted. It is multiply and division only which we can denote in a new physical quantity. This is our answer. So I hope it is clear to you. Now let us move on question number 13. Question number 13 says, if the unit of M and L are doubled, then the units of kinetic energy will become. The question says, if the units of M and L are doubled, then the units of kinetic energy will become. So as we know, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So dimension is equal to ml square minus 2. Now m and l are doubled, so we double m here and we double l here, and square is outside of the bracket, and t is minus 2 itself. There is no change in t. In t there is no change, so it becomes 2, and 2 raised to the power 2 becomes 4, so it becomes 8 times ml square t minus 2, and ml square t minus 2 is what? ml square t minus 2 is kinetic energy or the energy itself, so kinetic energy will become 8 times. So the correct answer is 8 times. Now let's move on question number 14. Question number 14 is based on the error. As I told in the earlier lecture, that error is the difference between the true value and the calculated value. So a student measures the time period of 100 oscillations. See, 100 oscillations. Why he did 100 oscillations? Can you tell me? Because to get a result very accurate with the true value, he made as many experiments you can do, as many results you can get. Do the average, you will reach to the accurate value, or may you get the true value if God saves you. A student measures the time period of 100 oscillations of a simple pendulum 4 times. The data is 90 second, 91 second, 95 second, 92 second. If the minimum division in the measuring clock is 1 second, then the reported mean time is should be, and it came in JEE Mains 2016. This question was appeared in JEE Mains 2016. So we knew that to represent a quantity with error, we have to introduce absolute error plus minus calculated error, or plus minus average of error. Absolute error is nothing but the average of all the certain values, and error is all the uncertain values, average of uncertain values. So here average of certain values, which is 90, 91, 92, 92, 92, 90, 92 and 95. So 90, 91, 95, 92 divided by 4 is equal to 92. So delta x1 means the first error is minus 2, second error is minus 1, third error is 3, fourth error is 0, fifth error is 1.5. So no, fifth error, there is no fifth error, it is the average of all the error, it is 1.5. So the correct answer is 92 plus minus 1.5, which is our answer. I repeat it again, as it appeared in IIT JEE Mains 2016. So I repeat it again. A student measures the time period of 100 oscillations of a simple pendulum 4 times. The data set is 90 second, 91 second, 95 second and 92 second. If the minimum division in the measuring clock is 1 second, then the reported mean time should be. So what I did the average of all the measured value, and then I did the average of all the errors, and then I put them together and given the answer. So the correct answer is 92 plus minus 1.5. We don't know it is 92 plus 1.5 or 92 minus 1.5. So we write 92 plus minus 1.5. So this was which question? Question number 14, which happened in JEE Mains. Now let's talk about another thing. In my video, this was the last question. I will solve all the numericals on units and measurement further also. So I had left the pages blank here. And going forward, I would like to ask you a question, that can you squeeze an atom? क्या तुम एटम को निचोड़ सकते हो? If yes, then write your answer in the comment section. If no, then don't write. I will know that you think so, that we can't squeeze an atom. Thank you for viewing my presentation. Once again, I hope that you are reading well. I am thankful that you are supporting me in my studies, because these topics I explored and I took forward to you. Now it's your turn to give to me your viewpoint on the topic. Thank you and Jai Hind.